I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm a spring admit freshman. I'm also a Spanish major on the pre-med track, and I'll be running for assistant director of BSA.
My name is Alyssa Sibley. I use she, her pronouns. My major is economics. I'm also a freshman spring admit, and I'm a current freshman there. I'm running for executive director of BSA.
BSA is very important to me, especially because it's one of the first groups that I joined at USC. It's been a great resource for me, especially to learn about the opportunities available to me as a Black USC student. And it's also been a tool for me to learn about my history and engage in conversations that are important for building our community. I truly believe that BSA and the family that comes with it does amazing things for all of us and the community we serve. And I don't really think that we need to change the way BSA operates, but instead improve upon the programming and the resources that we already provide. And I think for us, this means adding more program and catering more specifically to certain groups of students on campus, and as well as strengthening our relationships as students with each other. Some of the ideas that we have for programming is a BSA formal, workshops for first-year students that would teach them how to do their hair, nails, and survive in college in general, because it can be really hard when you're away from home. Being spring admit, something that's very important for us is creating a sort of welcome week for Black students within BSA, because we really want to make sure that there's no reason that Black students at USC can't succeed. Some other ideas we have are improving upon the career panels and the other programming that we have as far as networking opportunities. I feel like these panels are often geared to students in like the entertainment industry, marketing, finance, and so on. But there's a large group of students I know in BSA as well as in the broader USC community that are science majors, and it would be a lot easier for us to benefit from this programming that BSA already provides if there were more people in the STEM fields who were connected with these events. So as assistant director, I would like to work with the Black Alumni Office as well as other student-run organizations like NSBE and African Americans in Health to get more of these STEM people out to network with. And lastly, we would really like to foster the relationships within this community by creating a database which would allow us to better connect faces to names and get to know each other on a more personal level. Rather than just showing up to meetings and not socializing outside on campus and networking, it would be better for us to get to know each other. So we could have a database which would include just like a headshot and a small bio about you, so that way if I see you on campus or if anyone else sees you on campus, we can start a conversation, maybe talk about possible opportunities or even just become friends. And I think that would make it easier for other people who aren't necessarily involved with BSA as well to get to know us and be more interested in joining our little community.
Thank you, Bria. I'm just going to elaborate a little bit more on like what Bria said and kind of explain to you guys our ideas. Again, my name is Alyssa Sibley. I'm running for executive director of BSA. Our main goal this next year as BSA is to make sure like there's no reason that Black students here can't succeed. And to do that, we want to focus on your educational well-being, your social well-being, and your mental well-being. As far as education, we want to do something called like a homework portal, where people, let's say somebody in here took a high-level economics class, because that's my major. I'm sitting there one night, I'm doing my homework, I can't figure out how to do it. Somebody has offered up their email address or their phone number in a private portal just for BSA students, and I can give them a text or I can give them an email and be like, hey, can you explain this concept to me? And so it's different than tutoring, because you're not giving an hour of your time every week, you're just opening up yourself to be able to answer questions or to have questions answered. As far as social well-being, we really want to do first-year student workshops. We want to make sure, especially Black girls will come in like they know how to do their hair, people know how like study skills, just college life hacks in general, because I'm lost on a lot of things, especially being a spring admit, so I'm like still trying to figure things out. And then we talked about the BSA formal, and I've talked with Alia about this, and we can't use it as a fundraiser, but I do think I personally like to dress up, I like to have fun, I like to dance, and I like to be with people, like-minded people, and I think that would be something fun just to let loose and do as BSA, and maybe partner with another organization on campus to make that happen. And then Bria and I are both spring admits, so we really want to push like a spring welcome week, because as Alia mentioned at the beginning of the semester, this is everyone that we have for the year. All the spring admits and all the fall admits together that first week. I think it's crucial for us to bridge that gap between everyone. And then the BSA directory, Bria already elaborated on this, but it would be a private portal, completely voluntary. You can offer up a picture, you can offer up a little bit about you, and so then when people see you, they know your name, they know what you like to do, and like you seem more approachable, because I assume I look like a normal person. I assume. But you know, when you get to know me, like you're like, oh, she really likes 80s music, and that's not something you're gonna know from me, but that's something I would put in my portal, in my biography. And then your mental well-being. The SG Rose did a really good job, especially with the Reduce Your Stress. We'll see you guys tonight, we're gonna go. But we don't wanna put all of that burden on them to take care of the mental well-being of Black SC students. And so we really want to do is probably reserve a space like this or a different space. Just after BSA meetings, give you an hour, 30 minutes or so just to relax, just to unwind, to step away from your homework for a second and just listen to music. You can bring a blanket, you can bring a snack, just calm down because it's stressful being at USC. And then the other thing we want to do is just close the gap between upper and underclassmen, because we've noticed there's a really strong bond between the upperclassmen at USC, the Black upperclassmen, and that's awesome, but we want it too. And so using things like the database and the portal, just getting to know people and making those connections is what we really want to do. And then one thing that Bria didn't mention is we want to do like child-centered community outreach, but I don't want to say outreach, I want to say more inreach, because USC is the largest private employer in Los Angeles. Most of the people in this area have something to do with USC, whether they like it or not. And so I think it's our responsibility to bring in these Black kids in the area, you know, take them to a meeting, let them see what USC's Black kids are doing, and then, you know, push them like, hey, you know, you can come here. Because I feel like USC does a good job of, you know, bringing people in from all over the country, all over the world, but we're not bringing in people from our neighborhood, from the neighborhoods that we're building in. And so I really want to just push that, maybe mentor a child, show them that they can do it too. But yes, those are our main points. You know, we want to make sure there's no reason you can't succeed, and we want to close the gaps between Black SC and USC in the neighborhood.
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Preston.
I really liked your presentation, and it reminds me kind of like I ran for this same position last year. But in the case that you wouldn't get these positions, would you still be open to applying to BSA and being a part of the
100%.
Same here. I want to be involved either way.
Any other questions from the audience? Murad?
Yeah, so I was a non-traditional student as